okay. Off the mic, it's okay. She off the mic, all the sound like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey supposed talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. He go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind, but thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary Politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Poor man picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo.
Hello there. Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live. Share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Maiyegun today. Meanwhile, you may say welcome to UAR, right? United Africa Republic. Or you may just simply put it, welcome to Nigeristan tonight. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends.
Godfather is in go see Lord of Maiyegun diary.
Let's go to Borno. Thank you. As you are joining, remember, drop your offerings, like that video, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, share the broadcast.
And yes, we like YouTube. And yes, we like and yes, we like
So, once again, good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you, from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live, and this is the Temple of Truth again. And thank you so much for joining me. If you read the caption of the broadcast, Nigeristan Pro Max with the ISWAP early Momo rocket attack on Borno community. That community is that video you just watched. That happened this morning when the people who have the capacity to shoot down a fighter jet in Nigeria, and they are never, for their own reason, government of Nigeria never considered them as terrorists. However, we have no numbers of people killed, but they claimed that nobody died. That's a good one then, that nobody died. However, the people who told you that they borrowed money, well, they didn't actually borrow. They took $1 billion from your excess crude account to buy Tucano or Tuscano jets in order to combat terrorism. It's been over 2 months now that they took the delivery of the first batch of their Tucano jets. But guess what? It is still the business as usual. The Tucano jets are parked somewhere while the terrorists continue to run amok, to go berserk. Kidnappings continues in large scale, and it's like a catch and release of a thing as we speak. So, like every other news, this happened today where the terrorists launched a rocket into a community. They didn't actually attack the community at first. They launched early morning attack, which indeed sent everyone from that community running, scampering for safety, until they were able to come back when the Nigerian soldiers came around to say they have mopped up the whole area. They couldn't find any of them, but the area is safe. That was when somebody made this video this morning. So, sorry, Ahmed possibly understood everything they said there, and many of you who understand the Hausa very well, you probably will understand what they were saying. But listen, in May this year, right, the American CIA and their usual release, they told us that ISIL, these were the people who were fighting the war in Syria. ISIL, Islamic State of, is it Iran or where? And Syria, or wherever, ISIS, they call them, right? Now, that ISIS, those are the people who reigned around 2016, 2015, 2016, 2017, right? ISIS. So when they got defeated in Afghanistan, in Iraq, Iran, Syria, and all those places, they moved according to American intelligence. So they moved mostly to West Africa. And you know where they headed? Nigeria. So they said they were bringing in new fighters, because just about a year or two ago, the Nigerian Boko Haram, is a faction in them. They pledged allegiance to the ISIS as their new, like they are their new guide in this jihad war. So May this year, we were alerted that the ISIS fighter, right, they were headed for Nigeria, and not just northern Nigeria, to the rest part of Nigeria. But as usual, everybody just moved on, like, what thing we could do? Now, the capacity, as in when we talk about those who have the capacity to start war, these terrorists who had the chance of taking over 2-3 countries for years, and it was the campaign of terror, bloodbath. Now, they told us that these fighters, apart from the fact that they have captured many communities in northern part of Nigeria, they are this close to Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. And you see all the weapons that they are using, 90 or 98% of those weapons, they were not imported by them. They were not smuggled in. Majority of the weapons you see them use, including the mortar, the rocket launcher, this anti-aircraft gun, and all of that, they stole them from attacking Nigeria armories, where Nigeria keep their weapons. You have read news many times that many of you never really could make any real sense out of it, because to you, they attacked the barracks, they chased the soldiers away, and they took over the barracks, Boko Haram. And that is all they tell you in the news. Oh, they attacked the defense headquarters in Kaduna. That is all they told you. Oh, they attacked their soldiers and they killed over 300 soldiers, took their guns away. That is all. They didn't tell you probably they took their guns away. That is where they get the weapons from. The weapons to shoot down plane, the weapons to like bombs, most of these weapons, if you go on social media, you will see them publicly, independently displaying them to show their war chest, to show how prepared they are to start any war, which is what they are fighting, and they will never get tired. It is a two-way thing. Nigeria government, the Nigeria military, who deliberately puts a program together. That program is called Operation Safe Corridor. That program is a program that never punishes any of these terrorists. Even when soldiers fought them, overpowered them, killed them, or even arrested some of them, the only legal thing that they have for these terrorists is a program of rehabilitation. Right? So in collaboration, which means even if they attack a military base, they cut away the weapons, they do all of that, nobody is giving account of that. Nobody is being held responsible. That when they attacked this military barracks, you have history of attacks on different military bases, right? You know that you have become so used to it, right? But what they never told you is that whenever such attack took place, they took away your weapons. The same weapons that Nigeria borrowed money. Nigeria took on loan, and you are paying for. The same war that is costing Nigeria over 4 trillion naira every year to buy weapons, to do this, do that, as they have been prosecuting the war on terror. When they buy the weapons, I am not talking about just guns, bombs. For you to know, Boko Haram are now driving gun cars. I'm talking about Boko Haram are now driving armored personnel carriers, Nigerian government vehicles, Nigerian military vehicles, right, are now being used by the Boko Haram terrorists, including the Fulani terrorists, fighting Nigeria. So the weapons is Nigeria weapon, and Nigeria government has no punishment for them except rehabilitation. So it's a two-way thing, which simply means it is your government that is funding terrorism by ensuring that the generality of you are never pressed enough to see the hand of robbing Peter to pay Paul, playing the both sides, pampering the terrorists, and at the same time assuring the citizens that they will be safe. We are doing everything. But on paper, that's just what it is on paper. In reality, it is a different thing. So Nigeria continue to spend money on fighting terrorism, which is indeed like sponsoring terrorism. If more than 90% of the weapons being used by the terrorists actually belong to Nigeria, what does that tell you? Okay. Now, they launched an attack in Maiduguri. They quickly changed the media story. Oh, the guys didn't come in. They didn't come in to shoot and kill as their media wants you to believe. They just launched a rocket. It's like testing. Now, these guys are so close to Abuja that if tomorrow they just decide to take over Abuja, like they've taken over many communities in northern Nigeria, in Niger State alone, They have taken over 500 communities. That people who live in those who are still left in those communities, they are now paying taxes to these terrorists. Meanwhile, in Nigeria arrangement, right? Those communities, for example, these Niger State communities, where you have over 500 communities controlled by these terrorists. These communities falls under different government areas. In Nigeria, the government of Niger State, they are still collecting allocation for all those local government areas. Meanwhile, the people in those local government areas, they are no longer under the rulership of Nigeria. They are now paying survivor taxes to the terrorists. Why the politicians continue to say, we are doing our best, taking the money. People have been left on their own. You see that Borno? They have, I think they have 27 or so local government areas. Only 5 local government, less than 5 local government area is where you can actually see people, including the state capital. But in Abuja, Borno State is still collecting the full allocation for all of the local government areas. Why terrorists actually controls 70% of Borno State as we speak. Bokwari State in Katsina, where Bokwari comes from, more than 400,000 people from Katsina State are refugees in Niger, in Chad, and then in what do you call it? What's this other country they have there? 3 countries taking care of Nigerian refugees from Niger State alone. I'm sorry, from Katsina State alone. Meanwhile, many of those communities as well, people, if they actually no go area, you will never see police, you will never see military. They don't go there anymore. It's left for you. That is where the numbers of displaced people swell from 1 million in 2015 to over 16 million today. And there is still no way out of it. When you get kidnapped, people have to go and pray if you will get released. When you get released, people will still have to say, thank God. It is not, we thank God that they didn't kill you. That is the situation Nigeria has found herself now. Not now, it's been there for a while, but many of you are going to come to that reality soon. A bullish system that punishes our own citizens and rewards crime and criminals. That is a system that's where you have the elite who feels like all they needed is money. Once they have the money, Nigeria, poor people can continue to rise. Poor people can, you know what I mean? It's none of their business, but it is becoming everybody's business now. Those who spoke up and those who continue to speak up continue to be bullied into silence. Some of them have been killed. Some are locked up today simply because they spoke up against all this imbalance. You cannot be pardoning terrorists, spending a fortune, rehabilitating terrorists who have not even given up the act of terrorism. Rather than this to abate, to reduce, it continues to escalate. There is no sight. It is like a tunnel side, right? Straightforward. There is no end in sight. Then if government says we are doing our best, ask them, is their best rewarding repentant terrorists? Is their best is to be so scared that they would rather reward terrorism than punish it? Fulani terrorists invaded Nigeria according to them. The terrorists who have invaded everywhere, claiming and asking for land, killing people for land in the Middle Belt and some part of northern Nigeria, and now in the southern Nigeria, these are not Fulanis that were from Nigeria. Because if they were Fulanis from Nigeria, primarily, I believe, they had states where they come from. You have Fulanis who have been in Nigeria for over 200 years, and they have already been settled. They have their different areas where they even have their own rulers. So they cannot be migrating, killing other people who have also settled in their own land for centuries. So Nigerian government lied to Nigerians by saying, well, the only way to end terrorism of a Fulani terrorist is what? Is to give them land, because it is a case of Fulanis who needed land and they needed greener places where they can feed and graze their cows. And we say, How did the Fulanis living in Borno, Fulanis living in Sokoto, Fulanis living in Niger, Fulanis living in all these northern states, how have they been feeding their cows before Boko Haram came to power? How did it become a sudden thing that the Fulanis who have lived in Nigeria for 200 years, who never had the audacity, the temerity, the confidence or courage to go after other ethnic nationalities on their own ancestral lands and start massacring them? They never had the audacity before Boko Haram came. Then your government said the only way out of it is what? Give them the land or your life. On the other hand, that then has tied the hand of your government and left you at the mercy of the terrorists, where your government is unable to define terrorism. That has also brought us to where, as they are unable to define terrorism or even differentiate terrorism from those who are asking that they will never be part of an arrangement that rewards terrorists and punishes the activists, we would rather part way. Then that system that says those are the terrorists, while the terrorists are considered just disgruntled businessmen that every one of you should learn how to live with. Now, that technique will never defeat terrorism. That technique will never improve security. That is what then brings us to the elites who have the culture of being silent. You know, in Nigeria, when you see majority of those who claim to be rich people, they are rich because they have money, but they are poor because they have this poverty of the mind. Their mind, you know, when you limit your success, when you limit your kind of upgrade, or let me say, when you base your your success on how much money you are able to get, what will end is that you will be caught up in the system that bullies those who don't have money. You see, I have told you before that what you have in Nigeria is a class war where you see the criminal politicians, you see the elite religious body, you see the class that calls themselves the elite, the rich, the middle class, which is no longer existing, by the way, but people who believe that they are comfortable enough never to be part of those to be brutalized by the police on the street, never to be brutalized by somebody who has more money and position because they have money. So they are kind of immune from it. They are immune, not just themselves. Their family members are immune from anything with police brutality. When you talk about poor and corrupt, rotten education system, they will feel like, I can send my children to private schools. I can give them the best education money can buy. That is part of what contributes to the silence of the elite. However, the way a rotten rig system works is that, first, it is class war. But the people who bear the brunt are those who are below the water, those they considered as the poor. In Nigeria, Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. And being the poverty capital of the world means we have the substantial number of poor people that some people can use as an example or a reason to thank God. My children are never going to go to their schools that is so dilapidated that the walls could collapse anytime and could kill any of these children, poor children. Anyway, it won't get worse enough for me never to afford, to be able to afford to take my kid, to take myself to a very standard health center, to to get myself and my family the best medical care money can buy. You see, all of this, they are those things that you think money buys you, because that is what Nigeria is. And when you see the way people challenge and go after money, right? You will realize that the empathy, the humanity that comes with us being in existence, something that should be part and parcel of us, reason why they call us humans, right? The empathy, the humanity in us gets lost in the chase of that money. Now, this is not something that happens by happenstance in life. The silence of the elite, the rich people who keep quiet, but they will get caught up in it too. It started from how we got brought up. A bullish system that says you have to keep quiet and you don't ask questions from those who are older than you, even when they are wrong. That bullish system, right, eventually produced people who have been psychologically abused, people who have been psychologically messed up with, people whose mental health cause for questioning have now managed, after surviving those brutalities of our bringing up, right? They succeeded, they made money, they took power, and the humanity in them got lost. And if you look at every one of you, you can tell where your own humanity should be put to question. How many things have you felt like, since it's not me, it's none of my business? Well, if that is not happening to me, they must have done something why that is happening to them. This excuse of I am pretty much better off is general, where the empathy, the sympathy that comes with humanity is completely lost on many Nigerians. That is why when you take over power and you have a record of poor people or the level of poverty, underdevelopment, and you took power, the first thing that should cross your mind should never be, how am I going to be better than these millions of these poor people that continues to grow? Selfishness, which is the, well, this is actually the work book of this those who lead you in Nigeria. However, where empathy got lost is where you have where you have empathy will be anything that is for the good of general, for the good of the majority. Now, if you have empathy as a human being, you will never go into a government where you have to make decisions, where your decisions can affect not just a 1, 2, or 3, but we're talking about tens of millions of people. Now, if you are not selfish, where they say, let us build hospitals to take care of the people, not poor people, the people in our country, you will build the best. And you will continue to build the best to maintain that standard in order to keep your citizens healthy. But when you look at Nigerians, they talk about all these things that could make life better, including these ones I just told you yet. I mean, this insecurity one, where government, people are getting paid every day. They are getting paid. They are getting promoted when Nigerians are being killed, kidnapped, and being traded like slaves, like commodity in their own country, right? People are still getting paid. Talking about the empathy, because those who should have really done those who are getting paid to do the right thing, that could have cut down insecurity. When insecurity completely reduced, that can improve, economy, where people can begin to bring back economic activity from the areas that terrorism has destroyed. When people do their job. But when people make money from what should have bring a succor, comfort to you, because they didn't just get there. They are messed up people, selfish enough to go out to steal your money, take it elsewhere, while they watch you killed, hunted like a common animal. Then you see those who are like, well, I'm not hunted yet. My children can go to the best school. Now it's coming to life again, that nobody is safe anywhere. You see this rigged system that many people think that if I have money, I can always buy life for my children, or I can send my children abroad for education. I can get a better healthcare abroad. I can fly my private jet to where have you. Selfishness that made them think so. Well, listen to me. We were reading, I don't know if you have heard about the incidents of school children in private school, where their parents are paying millions of naira every term, where their children were supposed to be safe and protected. Now, all over social media now, right? It didn't just start to Sylvester, I can't remember his full name, right? Sylvester, the latest victim from a school, a private school in Lagos, right? Who just died after being bullied for many times, many times, and then eventually was force-fed with some substance that is considered to be poison or chemical or something. The 12-year-old boy died, and today was supposed to be his birthday, by the way. Another one happened where another rich school in Abuja, where a 12-year-old girl got raped, she got sodomized, and then eventually she died. When they were doing the autopsy, they found a condom, a used condom inside her, right? Now, bullying that messes up people. In this country, I discovered that when we were growing up, so many things that we were told. In fact, we were told never, to really say much. I don't know about your own upbringing, okay? But I'm talking about some of us who grew up in the core art of what should have been the real Nigeria, where there is no privilege or anything. You are not, you are not allowed to speak before your elders. You are not also allowed to raise accusation against them, because it became so bad that many people who got abused, primarily, many people who are messed up today in so many ways of their lives, and they are transferring that kind of toxicity into different thousands and thousands of people that they get to influence every day of their lives. But this mess up starts mostly from this kind of things. Many of you will remember how many of you that were sexually harassed, assaulted when you are in your own small dormitory, schools, kids, maybe even before you got to school. Many of you will remember. I'm not saying you got that happened to you. I'm saying that when we were growing up, it was even like a taboo for any child to accuse any member of the family, for example, any uncle, for what do you call it, for this indecent touches, harassment, and the rest of that. And indeed, many of our young women who are now mothers today experience such. Now, in this country, I found that the children from cradle to their KG kindergarten, to their primary schools, and the rest of all the education they give to them, the morality of or the confidence of a child, and the observation, so to say, the observation of the parents is so crucial in raising a child, right? If your child, for example, suddenly developed, and let me put it this way, suddenly develop a withdrawal, something, a kid that is always bubbling, lively, and the rest of that, and then you listen to them, right? If you send your child to any school or any hostel, and they suddenly feel like they don't want to go back anymore, right? Do not force them to return to those places. Yes, Nigeria has gotten messed up so much that millions of us who are now adults, right? Most of what we now kind of support or defend, like when we say all the abnormalities, all the wrong things, that's every wrong thing in this world, right? If you meet an average Nigerian, right, is right with him or her. Okay. Now, it has gotten to that stage because we found out that many people have been mentally, psychologically destroyed from their childhood. They have been bullied to accept wrong things. Even when they saw the wrong things, they have been bullied into silence, that many of them are just waiting to grow up to replicate their childhood experience. For example, what is wrong with you, a young man, that you are a school teacher, and in order to punish a child, you have to go and get this bigger canes, this whip, or you beat a child until that child bleed? What exactly are you trying to prove? Is it not because they did the same thing to you? And according to you, that is what makes you the normal person that you are today. That's what makes you or brought you to this level that you are today. But many of you didn't consider those things as abuses that really messed up with you. That is why today, right? If Nigerians are in a bus, if they are in a public transport or they are in a public transport, and they notice that policemen suddenly they are beating a conductor of another bus, beating and tearing him up, beating, or even if the person is bleeding. Mainly, if you see one or two people who come down in that traffic to defend that conductor, right? That are those who have finally come to the reality that this is wrong. Majority will keep quiet. You know why? Number one, they will say to themselves, only God knows why he did. Maybe he didn't give them money. That's why they are beating him. Police beating him. Some may be like, well, if I should stand up now to go and defend him, the police will arrest me. They will start, they want to collect money from me. So better make I just mind my business. So the culture of silence were embedded in us. They were forced on us, and we call them discipline. Now, we are now the people who have now made the society we are living in today. I am 37 years old, and I'm going to be 38 years old. I'm a father of many kids, right? And same experience I just told you now is the same experience I experienced when I was growing up, because it has to be so. Now, it is now left for me, according to people, for me to train or pass any kind of training to any child, right? If they prove stubborn, I should add some level of lashing, even if they have to bleed. It won't kill them. That was what they told us. It didn't kill us. The beatings didn't kill us. It messed us up. It made us who we are today. That many, many people are now fighting within themselves. When we were growing up, when we began to understand left from right, getting to know what is right and wrong, many of us grew up seeing people who are well-to-do using, even if they are just like civil servants who collect better money, fighting somebody who is an artisan, using that privilege to involve the police, not because the police is meant to actually investigate, but the police to punish that person because he is better. So we grew up in the communities where people use their influence in communities to oppress others. So growing up means you have to do everything to be rich. Or if you are poor, then you just have to accept your fate. If you get punished, you will say, God will fight for me. That is the mentality. They messed up with our mentality. And this same mentality is what you saw where they say, if a politician steals from you, it is not new. They all steal anyway. Everybody will still steal. At least if they steal from us, let them do something. That is this wrong mentality. That is the psychological manipulation that is now part of us, the grown-up adult of today. But in this country, I realized that you can actually raise a child to be loving, caring, to have empathy, right? Empathetic to other people. Consider people who probably are in terrible situation and how to help them. Raising kids that care for the environment. Raising kids that care for others than they cared for themselves. Raising kids who are ready to share. Raising kids to know that the world is not just about him, her alone. The mentality to know that if you help others, you will get the same help back. If you give out, you will get back as well. This country made me see through that. I'm not saying many of us didn't see through that from Nigeria, but you cannot deny the point I just made now. Some of you are possibly now kind of chuckling where you are now, like, well, it is the psychological destruction they did to us. Where those who saw the politicians of yesterday, who got away with their looting and stealing, rather than them getting punished, they got rewarded with bigger positions. We grew up seeing all of that. Look at the level, look at the caliber of people who are in your politics in Nigeria today. From local government area to your state assembly to your national assembly, and everybody claiming to be representing you. Tell me, which generation did they come from, other than the generation that you and I come from, the generation that is to take every wrong, to see every wrong thing as not that wrong, because it is only wrong depend on who is doing it. If they are doing it, then it's not wrong. But if other people are doing it, then it is wrong. That mentality of turn by turn Nigeria Limited is what I want you to know that you can't possibly deny. But when you think if Nigeria continue to go, it's like some people will say, Nigeria can sell a bag of rice for 50,000 naira. In the name of Jesus, I will never, even if they sell a bag of rice for 100,000 naira, Jesus, my God, will continue to provide. I serve a living God. I've heard people say that, okay? So don't think I'm making it up. People have said, even if they are calling school fees of a child 1 million naira, I will just pray to God to provide for me. You know why? It's about him, me. That is what is most in us. And the people who are in your government, they are the reflection of you, the society. Do you see now? A bullish system. So if you now disagree and say, hey, no way, how can we be living like this? They'll say, are you mad? Why don't you go and work hard? So that you too, you can just go and put your child in a private school where your child will get the best education. Why don't you go and work hard so that you can afford to use special hospitals so that you will not have to care whether government build hospital or not? Have you heard that before? Because I've heard that many times. Baba, see, let us tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria cannot be better. Everybody is just doing whatever they like. See, just pray that God should give you two opportunity so that you can give your child the best education. You can take your, you can enjoy life, blah, 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 blah. It's about you. So it's general that majority will want to just be the same thing like those who are in their governments because they are the reflection of the government. Where everybody is waiting for his own turn to impress or oppress other people in order to say, well, I thank God. But my news for you tonight is that, you see, as Nigeria, they go down, look at me very well. The effect of that is not just going to be on those who are going to fall by the way, because when Nigeria will happen to them, it is going to happen to you too, even with your money, your children, your precious children. You think taking them away from the system that is rigged against millions of other children, right? That you're taking your own child, praying to God to bless you, to take your own child out of that thing and give your child protection, best this. The society is breeding the same children. Your children are still going to be bullied into what the society is truly is. And it is a bullish system that will never allow your child. Now, it's a system of you either either become a bully or get bullied. That is what Nigeria is, if you pay attention very well. You get bullied or you bully someone else. Politicians are fighting, killing themselves to take over power so that they can bully the people they consider as their own enemies. Right? So everybody is trying to some people are praying to get money so that, police will no longer touch them. Police will no longer harass them. Police, you know what I mean? Electricity, that people are complaining that there's no electricity, right? Since you have money, you can have 24 hours electricity and buy that with your money, your mechano generator and your imported diesel or what have you. Since you have the money, you can buy all of that. But I'm telling you this now, free of charge. Okay? Not even that safety net you want to buy for your children will keep them safe. Look at me very well. Nigeria is not safe. Not just because I'm not living in Nigeria, it's because I have family there. I have friends there. I have, old schoolmates there. I have people I grew up with. I have people I can call my acquaintances there. They are there. If anything happened to them, it's not different from anything. So the same thing happening to me. So that is what we mean by when Nigeria will happen to you. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you call your safety net. It doesn't matter what you think or how far you have managed to stay away from the trouble. Whatever it is, it's never going to leave you alone. So taking your children out of a place or getting yourself a private medical care elsewhere or getting yourself some private security and what have you is never going to keep you safe. It's never going to make you better. It is just going to buy the time for you, since Nigerian problem has become Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited. Yesterday's yesterday's survivors, they are today's victims. Today's survivors, they're going to likely be tomorrow's victims. And since tomorrow we turn to tomorrow, then definitely if you survive it today, don't guarantee tomorrow. It is turn by turn. And if you are an elite, who they make small money, they drive nice car, buy yourself bulletproof cars, get yourself the sophisticated, security guard and what have you. A bullish system that refused to change, a bullish system that continue to, a bullish system that continue to jail and kill those who are in disagreement with the way the place is being run. That bullish system that you think you are immune from, look at me very well. You are not. Your children can get this same attack anywhere, by the way. The healthcare system your money wants to buy for you will eventually possibly fail. It has failed many. Even the criminals who continue to brag about the system they have built for you, and they have refused and rejected, by the way, they rejected anything like change to the way Nigeria is. They have pushed everyone to the precipice of breaking point. Well, they call it breaking point. They have pushed everyone to that breaking point that people are just waiting like a tick-tock time bomb. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. That's what Nigeria has been. They rejected any change of the way the country is being run, the way the country is structured, and every other thing that has brought people to this state. They rejected that. They are so archaic with the style that has made many of us, millions of us, poorer and unsafe. So it's now left for you. Wherever you think, or whenever you think you want to be part of it, even if you think you are never affected. I am saying this just to let you know that Nigeria has a way of happening to everybody. You have a system, a rigged system. Watch this video. I'll show you.
Auchi Abuja Expressway. A bus load of passengers were kidnapped, and the driver was also kidnapped. And it was said that at this particular place that the thing happened, there's always a checkpoint here, mounted by policemen, where this thing happened. And behind there is a house. And it was also said that a madman lives here. But can you believe we found this here? We found this here where the kidnapping happened. Where in the house where they say the madman lives. This is what we found here. This is what we found here. These are both expanded cells and I think this is a tear gas canister. And this is this water. They never fire those ones now. The ones that they never fire, man. You put this tear gas, this is they never fire that one. Yeah? This is the house. This is the house. This is where they camp. This is where they hide people. This is where they hide their kidnapped victims. And there's a checkpoint right in front of this house. Yes, ma'am. There's a checkpoint right in front of this house where all this is happening. Yes, ma'am. There's a checkpoint right in front of the house where all this is happening. This is where they kidnap people and bring them to. Not just the lighter. Go around, see things for yourself. See things for yourself. Eh? Right where there is supposed to be security men, law enforcement agencies. This is happening. Would they say they didn't see, they were not here when this happened? And this is not the first time, according to people here. This is not the first time this is happening, right in this very place.
One video, the bullet.
I don't video around, not be missing.
Okay. You see,
This is where it's happening. Now look, travelers are stranded. Travelers are stranded. The villagers are rioting. This is not the first time. They say this is not the first time it's happening. Almost every.
That is Nigeria. See, before this terrorist came, under this Bokuwari. The general, or let me say, the kind of major belief was that if armed robbers, if they are pursuing you, and then you see the police roadblock ahead, if you love yourself, just turn back and go and meet the armed robbers and give them whatever they want. You know why? If you run to the police, after they rob you, they may even kill you. And then they will display your body the following morning and say, we killed some, we engaged some armed robbers at so place, and we killed one of them. If it be your family members, when they look for you, go finally see, say, oh boy, then kill my brother, they call him armed robber. That is before Bokuwari. But today, they say, if, what do you call it, if you are going on and you see the terrorists, those ones where they kidnap people, Baba, and you see you are escaping from armed robbers, again, people are advising that go back to the armed robbers. They just want to take what you have. They are not going to kidnap you and start asking for money. So police, Nigerian terrorists, they are the same now under Bokuwari. So you heard the video. That's a real life video that happened today as well. Yeah? They kidnapped travelers. They've taken them away already. They didn't see all their kidnapped victims. It is the community, it was the people from that community that said, there is always a police roadblock here. Abuja Auchi Road. There is always a roadblock here. How can kidnapping happen here? There is a madman living in that place. Police told us that that house is a madman's house. Now, they went into a madman's house. Waiting, they found inside madman's house, bullet shells, on live ammunition, and all of that. The police checkers at the checkpoint, they are gone. They have taken their kidnapped, their victims away. Now, people will begin to now try to find out who got kidnapped. They will contact their families, like trade by barter, people will pay. Nigeria is a crime scene. Let me show you another one, which I also caught today. I hope this one plays. I think it's going to be this in Lagos.
No, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is a last man lady. I just pick up from Ojueleba at Yasi when police officer injured her when she was controlling traffic. And they still threatening her that they are going to lock her up or no offense. She was controlling traffic, and those police officers, they did not wear uniform and they are passing one way, and she stopped them and said, why is it that they are passing one way? And they now use that vehicle and push her up. When they're using that vehicle to push her up, they injure her on her arm and get her arrested, took her to ARC at Ojueleba, and they refused to take her to the medical center to treat her up. They refused. I am the one that took her with my vehicle. Go inside. Hello, show.
If you want to know that a society has gone south, if you want to know that a country is totally lawless, just take a look at their police force. Look at their force generally, all the forces they have, or all the security institutions they have. Military, Air Force, Naval, Police, the soldiers, DSS, Daura Secret Service, and the rest of all those criminal organizations in Nigeria, for example. It is only in Nigeria, that Esprit de corps is only about money. Esprit de corps doesn't come to the madness of bullying. Police, they beat soldier for streets. Soldier, they beat police. They you know, it's like a show. People will just gather. Say, hey, oh yeah, give him. Hey, oh boy, they go kill him. You will see soldiers jumping down from a car with whip. And they will stop. You will see policemen running, people's father, running, crossing the expressway because soldiers come. Because according to the psyche of Nigerians, the soldiers are doing the right thing. Look at those policemen. They have been collecting bribe there. They always do checkpoint. What do you expect? I love what those soldiers did. I love them. Yes, that's it. You beat them. See how that one run. Policemen go, they run like, say they escape. They come out cap. They come out everything. They run. Nigerians will be laughing. Look at, you know, because you know why? Now, so you will see the police beating somebody in the traffic. And help me, but I didn't do anything. Please help me. And people will be like, look at him. Only God knows what he do. See. Eh? Only God knows what he do. So it is like rank to rank. It's only in Nigeria. Then if you now bring Loma, Lasma, and every other funny names they created everywhere except ISBA. ISBA are different police. That's how to understand a disorganized society, a disorganized country. Because you know what? If something is wrong somewhere that is beyond you, you are expected to call the police, aren't you? You are expected to call the police. Now, when you see police driving against traffic, even in this country, when you have ambulance, the people who are allowed to drive against traffic, not to face, now only madman go, they drive at high speed, facing a coming vehicle on their own lane, and they expect them to move, right? So only in this country we see emergency services that you have to like excuse them. They can they can cross the lights. They can sort of go into a street, cordon off the street, and drive one way through just because they are going after any criminal in that kind of a hot pursuit. In Nigeria, the way is in black. They have their own mental problem. If you look at majority of those who join policemen in Nigeria, they joined policemen because of poverty, no job. Since they know that a policeman will never go hungry, even if he's living in poverty, serious poverty. A policeman, he won't go hungry. All he needs to do is to go and make the life of somebody else miserable. Collect money. If they don't pay him his salary, he can collect bribe and pay the school fees of his children, and he can be working. It's only in Nigeria that you can be working for 1 year, 1.5 years. They didn't pay you, but you will still be paying your rent because you have something else that is giving you more. So if you look at majority of them, they join policemen because of poverty and joblessness, not because of patriotism, empathy, humanity, or anything to serve. No, not majority of them. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm not going to use figures so that I don't become somebody who just try to mold people into one. But you know what I'm talking about. And remember, even your police, soldiers, and all of them, they are products of a brutish, bullish system that many of us grew up in. Okay, so many people from their childhood, they will say, "What do you go be if you grow up? What do you want to become when you grow up?" They say, "I want to become a soldier." I say, why you want to become a soldier? Because I can have gun, I can, people will respect me. If anybody misbehave, I can beat them, and I can, I've heard kids said that too, so I'm not making it up. Majority of them don't even have a clue of what a soldier is, except a Nigerian soldier that is feared, and they call that respect. People feared that soldier. Some people will say, what do you want? I want to become a policeman, so that I can be arresting criminals, I can be picking criminals and all of that. Because according to him, a policeman, right, can pick any criminal as a kid until he grow up, he realize that, oh boy, police, they collect money for streets. Police are now using force that they are paying police secret money to release people. Then they feel like, oh boy, so police job gets a level like this. The Nigeria finally happen and they feel like, well, I'm just going to become a police officer. At least that will pay the bill. So the product of the same system are the policemen, and then you see the mad people driving against traffic. They are not going after any, what have you, a last man. I've been waiting to record that one. Last man. You are driving against traffic. Turn back. This is wrong. Oh boy, as usual. This one the craze. You don't see our car. You don't see our bus. Or you don't see our truck that we are policemen. We are above the law. We can drive against traffic. We can put the life of other road users in danger. Who is this woman? They jumped down, right? First, they hit her with their car. Then they beat her and beat her and beat her. And they wanted to arrest her for trying to... are you mad? We are policemen. Lawless people trying to create a lawful society. How is that even possible? How? People who don't obey the law themselves, who have no regard or respect for their own law. They want to now enforce such law. How do you think that will work? Square peg in round holes. How do you think that will work? So you see your society, you see your government. Are you still wondering why Nigeria is what Nigeria is? Are you still wondering? You better no wonder. She said, what did they do to her? And honestly speaking, I actually feel for her, but it is Nigeria. It happens to people differently. When it happens to you, pray that you are able to tell the story, because that one is another case entirely. That Nigeria, may Nigeria not happen to you, may Nigeria not happen to you, or Nigeria will happen to you differently at different times. I'm going to put this special prayer together and say, when Nigeria finally happened to you, pray that you are able to live and tell the story. Sorry, madam.
No, I believe for you.
The corrupt man just push me down. Move away, Jerry. You're a police. I said you are not in uniform. I said just want to run away from. My hand just caught this thing. It did not even wait. I just hold them and entered the car. They should quickly take me to the hospital. They said they will not take me to the hospital. That they will bring me to their station and lock me up. That they will kill me there at the Gasi from Yaba. From my point, they took me here. It's even one of my officers that followed them. I said they should tie it. They don't want to tie it. I just saw this one and tied it.
It's too much. This is too much. This is too much. Yeah, I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm taking the video. This is serious. Look at broad. This is serious. This is serious. Look at broad. Police officer ARC command injured a last man lady. Look at this is serious. Look at this is serious. Shelly, look at.
So ọ̀gá wọn ti rí.
Ọ̀gá wọn ti rí bọ̀ tó yẹ kó tẹ̀lé wá.
Èmi fóònù ò sí lọ́wọ́ tèmi ní tí mo máa yẹ ní tè fóònù ẹ̀dá.
Ẹ máa wọ èmi ó wà on record.
So, madam, I hope they take care of you. Did you guys see the background of the clinic? And did you see that big, can I call that scarf? Is that kind of anything medical? Like for somebody in a clinic, I would expect that they will open it and clean it so that our blood won't continue to drip, right? So, you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if you noticed that. I did notice that. That is example of Nigeria. You can pretend. You can live in denial, right? What you are living with is what they have conditioned you to accept. Even right there in the video where it's supposed to be a clinic, the wound and all of that is not really dressed. They are using a scarf. And they are trying to ask us, because if you check it, they probably don't have any first aid kit in there enough that they just wanted to try and stop the bleeding so that they can, which is good, by the way. But a scarf, that is Lagos. The reason why Tifnumbu will never go to Yaba, where when he had his legs operated on in America, and then he came to London for recuperation. That's why I won't stay in Nigeria. Who did it now? They will be using the Tifnumbu's agbada to roll his legs together. Abina bamboo. They will put bamboo together for Tifnumbu's leg. Or waiting. That is why the guy ran away to London. So that where they can give him proper treatments, where they are not going to use the buba and Nero to patch a wound for him or to tie together his arthritis legs or bones. You know what I'm talking about now? Now, that is on you. If you think for some reason you have no say because you've been conditioned that way, but some people don't feel like that. But as usual, Nigeria will always pop up. This happened, by the way, at what is called a conference, I think, Experience. Yeah, where Sanwo-Iku, after declaring that nobody died in Lagos, Sanwo-Iku now sends somebody to go to the Experience of Pastor Adefarasin, right? To go and preach what? And they started reading Bible. Boy, now some people change them for Amo. Some of you have seen the video, right? Well, it would be good if I share that with you, that apart from everything about Nigeria happening or not, bullying or not, but there are those who believe that what is wrong, and you can't call it another name. And if they have the opportunity, they will stress it out there, they will speak it out there like this. Leave us and go. So that was the Experience 2021, organized by Pastor Adefarasin. So the man took the stage afterward, like, please don't do this to the authority. They are the authority, they have the power, we are, the Bible says, oh boy, very soon everybody will stop believing these political pastors that we call the pastorpreneurs. Some people using religion, by the way, to tell you Bible said. You will end up having to tell them exactly what the Bible say. Okay, you would have to look for the real verse and verses or chapters in your Bible that condemns abhorring politicians who are so comfortable watching their people being pushed into the abyss of what it is today. All right, so you can tell them and say, no, pastor, no, they mix them together. This will not be what do you call it? Bible said. These guys are criminals, and don't mix the two together. Okay. Now, just before we round up, okay, I have one more thing I'm going to share with you. But if you are watching me right now on Facebook, thank you. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can use this minute to give that thumb up under that video. Like it. If you haven't shared it, please do. I am going to be back in a minute.
It's a jackpot spirit. Let me tell you something, men of God, all of you that say you want to go to Canada, it's not a course, you can't make it. You know why? The water will make it in Nigeria. You have been in music you didn't make it, you have been in music for 12 years, you can't gather 50 people over Canada. If nobody's telling you, will become a baba, you will become a baby salute. Security in the uniform, you'll be a security man at the gate. You'll be remembering the days when you were a minister. There are plenty there. We know their story. Hello? You that look, listen to me. A lizard in Nigeria cannot become a crocodile in Canada. So when you get to Canada, is it this altar of the Father's house you're going to be preaching? Something your Father's house is pursuing you in Canada.
You know, every spirit of your father's house, every evil spirit, every spirit of incubus and succubus, spirit wife and spirit husband. If I be a man of God, that's why you go and preach abroad. Many of you pastors don't even know that you don't have a message. The only reason why you are in ministry is the poverty of Nigeria. Your ministry is based on the poverty and the irresponsibility of leadership. So you'll be prophesying things. Since we had GSM, how many of you have prayed for dialing tone? Since GSM came, have you ever prayed one day, Lord, let this phone go through? Have you ever prayed that? Was that not the useless prayer we used to pray in the days of night? And I used to tell her, I say, it's not prayer. People are just, it's a bunch of irresponsibility. How can you be praying for dialing tone and you think you have faith? It's an irresponsible environment. Nigeria can mess up your psyche, I'm telling you. We used to pray for dialing tone. Have you forgotten? You have forgotten. You just listen to Moko Prakate, Yikata Kataya, Yigrotekete. He went through. Thank you, Jesus. You will now begin to think you are building faith. No. Are you praying now for your phone to work? No, because the system works. So the place you want to relocate to, everything works. So which message will you preach? Hello? That they will get a job. There is job everywhere. Hello? That God will send them destiny helper. The government already has a welfare system. Even if you don't have a job, you have regular money every month. So some of those messages expires at the airport. So when you finally get there, you will still fail. Because you will get there.
I just thought somebody should say it better than me. And I hope you get it. Do you get it? Do you get it? If you don't get it, bros, forget about it. All right? So what I'm saying is that psyche, mentality, what they picture, what they programmed in your brain, things you see around when you were growing up, they were things that you were conditioned to be exactly that. But you need to see outside that. If you really want things to be different around you, then you need to see outside that rather than live in denial like many of you love to do. Okay? I don't know if this message gets to you. I don't have any better way to say it. I hope I passed it enough for the discerning minds to take it. Help me. Those of you who know how to say it better, talk to other people. Nigeria has messed up with people's brains. And the reflection of that is what they say mirror effect. No, it's not mirror effect. It's actually the reflection. Oh, well, maybe mirror effect anyway. You know, your leaders are the reflection of you. And as they are plotting for 2022 to become the real next devil, the climax, as they have turned Nigeria to Nigeristan Pro Max, tell yourselves the truth. The same mentality that make you agree with those criminals who brought you to this level, you can't use that same mentality to get out of this mess. The first one is to liberate your mind. I don't know if my tempo tonight and the message actually gets to you enough to make a difference. If it doesn't, trust me, subscribe on that channel, right? See me and meet me here next time. We have another service, another time. Maybe your salvation can be resolved then, and then you will believe. If you don't kill Nigeria, eventually, Nigeria will kill you. It's not a prayer. It is not a curse. It is what it is. Those who have met their own death simply because Nigeria happened to them in a very terrible way. They probably were more prayerful too. They have faith too. But when Nigeria came knocking, happened to them, many of them didn't live to tell the story. So when we say there are ways to end the mystery, there are ways to stop the bleeding, there are ways to stop the massacring and the genocide and the ethnic cleansing, as whatever you want to call it as we speak. Everything that tells you that something is wrong with Nigeria is right, it's true. You need to live in that world if you want to make a difference. We are not many yet, but we are building rank. You will receive your healing if tonight is not one of them. And to my regular brethren, I bet your faith is still intact. I have just watered that your flower. I have watered that knowledge in your mind. Now you need to let it germinate. Do your own researches. Contribute in a way to grow the rank. Tell people what they have to know, which is the real thing. And then we grow the rank of those that will join the resistance. If you don't kill Nigeria, look at me very well. Nigeria will kill us. Until then, we will not stop talking. I'll see you some other time. You should all have a very good evening and a wonderful night. Good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran. Kì máa yí ṣe